All right, my people, skill number 14, simplify monomial expressions, be able to apply power rules to simplify expressions. Apply power rules means the rules that we dealt with in skills number 8 and 9. All right, truth be told, if you can't handle skills 8 and 9, skill 14 is beyond you. Reminder, the main skills that we're going to use from 8 and 9, if we're multiplying, same bases, different exponents, keep the base, add the exponents, power to a power, power inside of parentheses, taken to a power outside of parentheses, we are multiplying the exponents, keep the base. Anything to the first power is itself. Different bases, same exponents, multiply the bases, keep the exponent. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. Dividing, different bases, same exponents, you can divide, keep the exponent. Dividing, same bases, different exponents, subtract the exponents. All right, so anyway, that's skill 8 and 9. If you can't handle them, if you didn't do well on that quiz, you might do better to go back and practice them again rather than dealing with skill 14. Skill 14, we're going to look at stuff like this. So it's taking the rules from 8 and 9 and applying them multiple times. All right. Basic steps, throw your ones up, throw your zeros out, take your powers to your powers, negatives flip, deal with your products and quotients, and repeat if necessary. All right, this is what I mean by that. Throw your ones up. Any base that doesn't have an exponent, you're going to put an exponent of 1. So throw your ones up, that's what I mean by that. Okay, throw your zeros out. Remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. And if it's multiplying other things, all right, 1 times anything is itself. So you can kind of get rid of things that have a 0 power. All right, take your powers to your powers. That means if you have a power outside of parentheses, that power applies to each power inside the parentheses, and the application is multiplication, right? So we've got, all right, I'm going to write this. This is kind of like order of operations, skill number 3. So 7 to the first, g to the first, g to the third, and that to the third is going to give me g to the 9th, h to the 4th, and that to the third is going to give me h to the 12th. All right, so my power outside multiplies each of the powers inside, similarly to the distributive property. Okay, after I've done that, actually, I can kind of get rid of my parentheses. So then negatives flip. I don't have any negatives here, so I don't have to deal with that one. Products and quotients. All right, I got a bunch of products. Okay, the only thing that I can really combine are my g terms. Nothing else will combine together. So 7 to the first, g to the 10th, h to the 12th will be the final answer. You can choose whether or not to keep your first power. You don't have to keep it. You could drop it, but I will allow you to keep it for this topic, okay? Basically, I'm just going to go through a couple more examples. That's it, though. That's the process. I'll go through a couple more examples. If you want to, all throughout this, you can hit pause and try it yourself before I do it. That way you can check, do you understand, okay? So if you want to hit pause and try it first, you can, or you can just watch me. Throw your ones up. Throw your zeros out. There are none. Powers to powers. 2 to the third. 3 times 1 is 3. A to the negative 15 times 5 squared, a squared. Negatives flip. This a is going to move to the denominator. So we have 2 to the third, 5 squared, a squared, over a to the 15th. Products and quotients. The only thing that I'm going to be able to combine are my a terms. All right, so 2 to the third, 5 squared. These two a's will cancel with 2 of those a's, and we'll be left with 13 a's in the denominator. All right, couple more examples just like that. This guy here, again, if you want to hit pause and try it on your own, you may. Throw your ones up. Throw your zeros out. Don't have any. Powers to powers, don't have any. Negatives flip. We will bring this one up to the numerator. So we've got 3 squared, m to the 6th, n to the 1st, m squared from the denominator over 3 to the 4th, n to the 5th. Products and quotients. Okay, in the numerator, my m's can combine. Between the numerator and the denominator, my 3's should be doing something and my n's should be doing something. All right, these 3's. Division, the 2 3's up top will cancel with 2 of the 3's down the bottom, so I'll be left with 2 3's in the denominator. All right. My n terms, I will have the 1n up top, cancel 1n in the bottom, so I'll be left with 4 n's in the bottom, 4 n's in the denominator. And my m terms, 6 m's times 2 m's, altogether is 8 m's being multiplied. All right, that's the final answer. Okay, you should notice that basically at the end of a problem, the bases that you began with, you should end up with one of each of them. One base, one exponent. Throw your ones up. Throw your zeros out. I don't have any. Powers to powers. This 4 applies to each of those in there, so we will have 5 to the 4th, c to the 16th. This 4 applies to each of the terms in here. I didn't throw my 1 up for that 11. So I'm doing it now. All right, so we've got 11 to the 4th, c to the 8th, over c to the 24th. All right, let's extend this denominator over here. These things are being multiplied. That's a division. Different bases, same exponent. I can combine them. 55 to the 4th. Same base, different exponents. I can combine them. C to the 24th. All of that over c to the 24th. One more step with this one. C to the 24th divided by c to the 24th is c to the 0, or just 1, so that can cancel out. Final answer is just 55 to the 4th.